judgment and no quick fixes. Just meaningful steps towards better living. Wellness. Weeknights from 7:30 to 8 p.m. Only on Nationwide 90 FM. Because progress is a process. It happens one day at a time.
Share in the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
Education is the key for betterment in this modern time, Education is the key for betterment. Never waste your time, don't you waste your time. Bless and love. This is Warrior King. It's all about talk up youth, you know. Cause the youth them are the future. Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Keep in tune, don't move the dial. Rastafari. Reggae music rocking the nation. Good vibration.
Jamaica, our young people are world leaders, innovators, and game changers. They are creative, intelligent, bold, and they are champions. My youths, you have the power to transform Jamaica. Our country needs your ideas, your opinions, your solutions, and your support. Full time now with kick out crime and violence, rape culture, unemployment, and all of the other problems in Jamaica land we love. I'm Empress Golding, encouraging all young people to come make with Talk Up, on Talk Up Radio. Go on with it, youths. Talk Up Youth. Myself a Talk Up Youth.
Secure in the bed, financial freedom, barrel full up of crap. Down the yard, that's some things go. Take a good look inside, there's some just loyal to income. Moving in silence. So much blessings I'm for thankful. Fulfilling my dreams, I'm grateful. Fulfilling my needs, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. The harder it gets, it will change you. And the higher you get, that will hate you. Time gets so dread, it will break you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. In a life when it gets hard, 10 toes down, shoulder broad. Drop on my knees and pray to God. It could have been worse, it could have been bad. Not in the earth or in the bag. Not chat to no nurse and live in a ward. We flipping the cash, secure in the bag. With a belly profit with me and my squad. Not in a barrel, we're full of a crap. Mind over matter, we stick to the plan. Never yet sell off a couple of grand. Only the farmer can depend upon. Forever grateful, I'm giving the thanks. Living the dream, you know me and the gang. Me and the team need a sick in a sun. We wouldn't be here without all of the fans, yeah. So much blessings, I'm for thankful.
Welcome to the Talk of It radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, right here on the best revolutionary station in Jamaica, Nationwide 90 FM. It's a favorite youth hangout spot where, you know, the vibes is high, the conversations are real, and the energy is always unmatched. Right, Malik?
Whether you're listening to us on the 90.3, the 90.5, the 90.7, and the 90.9 FM band, Digiplay or Flow, we are glad to have you here this morning, and you're listening to none other than the voice of your boy Malik, and I'm joined by none other than
definitely Demoy. I don't
definitely Demoy. Yeah. I like that. Definitely Demoy.
At this point, I think we're getting back in that time where we usually host a lot together.
Maldemastic, I feel, you know, you've been away for so long, but of course, you know, we send our sympathies and condolences. You know, we had a little difficult time for Demoy recently. He lost his dad, but you know, your Talk Up Youth family is here to support you all the time, and we're just glad to have you back here.
And I just want to say, Malik, and to all the other Talk Up Youth, my family Talk Up Youth, thank you. Empress, Damien, the calls, the messages, Malik, everything. I felt the love, appreciate it. But you know, the show goes on, and you know, no better way to, you know, move on from that, or try to move on from that, by spending time with those they love. So let's get into the show.
Exactly. So this week's focus surrounds youth leaders, climate advocates, and energy innovators. So we're all about climate change and innovation. So we are gathered to discuss today specifically the fact that coming off of the heels at the Jamaica Conference Center was the 2026 Caribbean Climate and Sustainable Energy Youth Workshop, held from March 4 to 6 under the theme Sus Energy, equity and inclusion in a changing climate. The workshop brought together passionate young changemakers from across the region, co-hosted by the Caribbean Youth Climate Council, Youth Action Co, and Youth for Energy. The event focused on one big question: how can Caribbean youth help build a cleaner, fairer, and more sustainable energy future? Over the past few days, the participants explored climate solutions, discussed energy equity, and connected with experts working on sustainable energy across the Caribbean. The workshop wrapped up with a special field trip to the International Center for Environmental and Nuclear Sciences, where participants got a closer look at the science and innovation helping our region adapt to climate change. So stay with us as we bring you more highlights throughout the show, conversations with the youth or young climate leaders, and insights from the workshop held March 4 to 6. That's empowering Caribbean youth to take action for our planet and our future. What's coming up next, though?
So also coming up, what's next really is Inside What You Say.
Yeah.
So we're spotlighting a young brand that's turning ambition into fashion. That's Zahir Smith, founder of Zenpo Apparel, along with co-founder Samuel Idai. I hope I got that right because I have a tendency of butchering names. Started the brand while they were still students at Wilmer's Boys School. What began as a shared vision amongst friends has quickly grown into a youth-driven clothing brand known for its bold message of ambition and self-belief. With popular collections like The Sky's the Limit and Chase Greatness selling out shortly after release, Zenpo Apparel continues to build a strong community of supporters while preparing its next drop in 2026. So today we'll be talking to the founders about their journey, their inspiration, and what's next for the brand.
So stick with us and stay with us here. We're here until 1 p.m. today. You can listen to the Talk Up Radio show here or online at nationwideradiojm.com. That's nationwideradiojm.com. Or get the Nationwide app in your relevant app store. You can also watch us on our YouTube. Good morning to our YouTube family. Nationwide 90 FM. Keep it locked into the station you can trust. Let's switch over to the break. This is the Talk Up Youth Radio show, a youth-led Talk Up Youth production. Stay tuned for more Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
We'll soon come back.
When you're winning, it's a sweet story. And when you're not, then the war is
You may have been hearing the teasers. Now it's official. Beginning Monday, February 9, 2026, Nationwide News Network launches something special. The Nationwide Family Club, exclusively on Patreon.
With the Family Club, members get early access to our documentaries before anyone else. Some of your favorite segments, including Cliff Says, What's on My Mind, Cover Story, and others will now be a click away inside the Family Club. There are 3 tiers of membership. First, Runs, the Family Insider, behind-the-scenes access, Monday motivational videos, members-only chats, and on-air birthdays and anniversary shoutouts.
Second, Silver, Nationwide VIP. Breaking news alerts, exclusive documentaries, quizzes, personal milestones celebrated on air, and weekly family roll call mentions. Oh, and for our biggest supporters,
our gold category, elite listener, full archive access, early releases, private studio tours, live show experiences, personalized birthday videos, and exclusive live streams. From historic election coverage to lifetime, impact, Jamaican milestones, and rare archive content. This is Nationwide like you've never seen it before. The Nationwide Family Club, coming to you February 9, 2026 on Patreon.
Join the family, support Nationwide 90 FM, the station that informs, entertains, and educates. Visit patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. That's patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. Nationwide Family Club, where you are family, because we see you as family.
Attention contractors, developers and homeowners. Glacier White Corian Solid Surface is now at a special price while stocks last. Choose Corian for your commercial and residential projects. You won't regret it. It's durable, beautiful and long-lasting. No sealing necessary. Corian is the #1 solid surface in the world. Second to none. Visit Home International Limited at 104 Constant Spring Road. Telephone 876-755-1970 or 876-276-6448. Open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yeah, man, you don't know, this is Naomi Cowan representing for Talk Up Youth. This on every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Talk Up Youth, me say Talk Up Youth, yeah. You have to stand for your rights now. Now is the time. Tell the people.
When you're winning, it's a sweet story. And when you're not, then the war is bitter. You're quick to call me a sinner. Only judge I know my history. So we have to give the king glory. Like a tree planted by the river. I smile with the sun. Can't keep it down, cause we have to overcome.
Sleepless nights under pressure, got a lot on my mind. But with life be without all the struggles of mine. Can't sleep, some steam trees for peace of mind. I can't sleep, but these sweet dreams do ease my mind. I say, what success without a little sacrifice? With every downfall, yes, you have to have a rise. Gain the right to lose your soul, no, we're not gonna pay that price. I forgive, thanks, so life the morning, Sunday,
victory. When you're winning, it's a sweet story. And when you're not, then the war is bitter. You're quick to call me a sinner. Only that I know my history. So we have to give the king glory. Like a tree planted by the river. I smile with the sun. Can't keep it down, cause we have to overcome.
Positively clear when I light up on Richard. But tell selfish ways we not go back them for no sponsor. Crawling on my red will always try to pull you under. Pagans try to break you, wanna kill you, make you stronger. Clear my thoughts with a little meditating. Out of nothing, opportunities creating. King Selassie, I don't stop, I get the praising. For eternity, we keep the fire
victory. When you're winning, it's a sweet story. And when you're not, then the war is bitter. You're quick to call me a sinner. Only that I know my history. So we have to give the king glory. Like a tree planted by the river. I smile with the sun. Can't keep it down, cause we have to overcome. Stop signs. Doors closed. I'm never giving up, I'm doing good, but only the best is good.
Pretty out there, we're judging and betray. With the streets got no love, and the pagans and forsake. We can't mash me up, come and pray to the Father daily. I am on the
field. Representing for Talk Up Radio, a Talk Up Youth production held every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Talk Up Youth, Mr. Talk Up Youth.
Man. Yeah, man, don't respect. I want to I respect and love, man, to all Jamaica, no matter where in the world. One eye, like I own you. No matter where in this world I go, I am a Jamaican. No birth papers I have to show, cause I am a Jamaican. No matter where in this world I go, I am a Jamaican. No birth papers I have to show, cause I am a Jamaican.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, coming to you right here on the best revolution station in Jamaica, Nationwide 90 FM. If you're just joining us today, we're all about climate change, youth and sustainability and entrepreneurship. And you're listening to none other than the voices of your boys, Malik and...
Definitely Demoy.
Definitely Demoy. We're in from Maldemastic or Demalastic Day. It's been such a minute though, Demoy. How have you been?
I've been good. As you would have shared earlier with everyone, you know, I had a difficult time where my dad and my granddad passed in such a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So my 2026 when I started was really not the best. But as I said, I really want to thank you guys for the support that you guys give. Apart from that, you know, the usual work, life, struggles, you know, the ups, the downs. How about you, Malik? I have not seen you since...
In a minute?
Yeah.
Have we seen each other since 2026?
Well, we see each other online. That's
yeah,
it.
but I mean face to face, bro. Have we seen each other?
No, we really haven't.
Wow. Time is really flying. But March has started off with a bang. Like literally, because it started with an earthquake.
Definitely.
On the first day, I'm like, wow, March, you've just hit the ground running. Literally. We've just been shaken up to start the month. But I mean, I've been busy, but not too busy that I can't balance doing radio, which I love to do. And I think that's important to me, that I'm here to obviously educate Jamaican young people and all our viewers each week. But last week never too bad. I can't complain. Last week wasn't bad. And then yesterday, I want to big up. I went to the Jamaica Food and Drink Festival. Where were you? Because you're a foodie, you know.
To be very honest with you, I wasn't feeling well. And you know, I wanted to be my best self to see my Talk With family today.
I see.
So I went home. I told my coworkers, listen, I'm going home and I'm going to rest because I have the radio show tomorrow morning.
Well, as a foodie, I had to be out there.
Why are you going tonight?
Each and every... No, sir. I was last night. I can't do 2 nights. No. I can't afford it. You have to all of the radio, know my business. Anyways, I enjoyed last night immensely. So big up to the organizers of the Jamaica Food and Drink Festival for Chef's Kiss organization or slate of activities between Thursday to today.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you. Well, I had friends who went there on Thursday. They was like, "Why didn't you come?" I was like, "I genuinely didn't remember."
But then no, you're a foodie. You love food.
I know. That's why I'm disappointed myself. But Malik, you have to understand. I've been going through a lot. So
I give you
I'm now trying to gather myself.
We've given
together.
you a blind, but we're glad you're back and we're glad to see you. See, this is all I'm doing when you come to studio at daytime and banter with me. Anyways, shifting gear, we are locked and loaded today on the discussion about climate change youth and the Youth Council specifically. So the Caribbean, and I think we've had these discussions before, because, you know, in the Talk Up Radio Show, we're very big on SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, life on land, life on water, care for the environment, are many of the big goals that we see, or the more popular goals that we see. So you know that the Commonwealth Caribbean, or the Caribbean as a whole, has very huge potential for renewable energy like solar and wind. Yet many countries in the region still rely heavily on imported fossil fuels. This dependence contributes to high electricity costs, energy insecurity, and economic vulnerability. And so the Caribbean Climate and Sustainable Energy Youth Workshop 2026, organized by the Caribbean Youth Climate Council, Youth Action Co-Lab, and Youth for Energy, is bringing, or had brought, young leaders together to change that. The initiative focuses on building youth knowledge, leadership, and advocacy in sustainable energy and climate action, helping empower the next generation to drive a more inclusive and resilient energy future for the Caribbean. And so today, we are blessed to have with us 2 stalwarts or trailblazers in the Caribbean Climate Change Youth Council specifically, being Mario Gilbert and Chelsea Ellie Nandlal. So tell them who these people are.
So let's start Mario. Mario is an environmental and climate policy advocate with over 5 years of experience in sustainable development. He advocates for the right to a clean and healthy environment and supports the empowerment of people of African descent. He holds a master's degree in international policy and development management from the University of the West Indies, Mona. Big up you. Mario has served in several leadership roles, including founder and executive director for the Global Sustainable Development Network and executive coordinator for the Caribbean Youth Climate Council. He had also worked with international bodies such as UN Ecosystem Restoration Youth Task Force and the Children and Youth Major Group for UNEP, helping to coordinate events, build youth capacity, and contribute to global climate and environmental policy discussions. He actively represents Jamaica and the Caribbean in international climate processes, including the UNFCCC Global Stock Take.
Wow, that was
yes, it was.
But he's a youth leader extraordinaire, doing a lot of good work here on the ground.
And not a stranger to us here.
Exactly, you know, so both locally and regionally, he's been doing a lot of work, especially in defense of the environment, climate change, and sustainability. Like, you know, When you talk about young people in Jamaica, not to divert too much, when you talk about certain faces or you see certain faces, you know what spaces to find them in. And I think that's a very good thing.
The truth is, Malik, I've known Mario, I don't want Mario to feel embarrassed, but I've known Mario from he was head boy at Normal High School, remember that? Yes, and ever since he left Normal and started UWI, his niche has always been climate change, where youth are concerned. I remember his work in St. Catherine when you were a part of the parish council. You helped to create, or you helped to form the climate change task force in St. Catherine, I think, and it went nationally. So
we
this
know what
has
areas.
been his passion for more than 10 years. So Mario, big up you. But tell us about Chelsea.
And now we also have with us, visiting from the island or the twin island of Trinidad and Tobago,
definitely.
Chelsea Ellie Nanlal is a lawyer and youth advocate currently studying her master's full-time in oil, gas and energy law. With experience in law, public relations and diplomatic engagement, she has led initiatives that empower Caribbean youth to take meaningful action on climate change and sustainable energy. She's widely known as the former Law Society's Charity and Outreach Committee Chair at the UWI St. Augustine campus, and then later as the President of the Student Representative Council and Chief of the Students Association at the Hewing Law School in Trinidad. Chelsea's passionate about global development and inspiring the next generation of leaders to embrace innovative solutions for a greener, more sustainable future, using her multifaceted experience to turn ideas into real, lasting impact across the Caribbean region. She has worked on global development initiatives both internationally, France, Panama, and today she's in Jamaica because she's also a delegate at the recent workshop. Welcome to Jamaica and welcome to the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, Chelsea.
Thank you.
All right, so quickly, just tell us about yourself and tell us what inspired you, Chelsea, to get involved in climate change or sustainable energy advocacy as a young person in the Caribbean.
I would definitely say, as an attorney at law, at some point in time, you have to make a decision on what area you really want to specialize in and what it is you feel passionate about.
Yes.
And so I felt that this is an area, Trinidad and Tobago, as you know, is very fossil fuel heavy. And given the climate that we are in today, we cannot continue to operate in this way. Having studied oil and gas back in the LLB, I got the experience there, and I've been able to see exactly the damage that something like that causes. And I felt as though this is an area that I could definitely tap into. It's not something that a lot of attorneys in Trinidad and Tobago tap into, and I felt like that was a space that I could contribute to, particularly for global development purposes as well.
I love that. Mario, as we said, we know what your niche is. You just know what you like. What inspired this interest or this passion in terms of climate change and resilience and sustainability?
I think, thank you for having us here today. We're representing the Caribbean Climate Council. If you remember clearly, in 2011, 2012, you could go to Helsha Beach and walk on the shore.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, you cannot do that anymore. That's one element. In about 2015, 2016, while at school, I noticed that the environment at that time was just foggy. The Riverton dump, I remember clearly one of those issues. And we had several discussions. School had to be closed. There was health consideration. The fact that Riverton dump was nearby health clinics. How does that affect people, their health and also the environment? And so from there until then, from that time until then, I, found the need to see the need for conversation around a healthy environment for all people.
Yes.
And so since then, I usually go and talk about the issue of Helsha Beach wherever I go. The sea level rise and all that has impacted the businesses, what we are used to as young people going to that beach and be able to walk along the shores, play football. We cannot do that again. And if you go there now, the impacts are still there. It's evident. And so that part of my life as a young person, I remember it vividly, clearly. And no, we can't do that anymore. So that is the essence of why I am doing this advocacy to date. And it will not stop, because every single day there's something new that we have to advocate for. And that advocacy is why I'm here driving it across different levels, because everything is interlinked, interrelated. And if you notice, environment is linked to climate, environment is linked to energy, it is linked to ocean conservation. All of that culminates to why we're here today and advocating for a healthy and sustainable environment for all.
I love that. just listening to him, it's just so sobering when he uses the example of Hellshire.
I was just going to say
because I
to
think
you,
we, as you know, both locals or even persons who visit and love to go to Hellshire, take it for granted that in truth there is no
Malik,
more beach.
I told my younger brother that when I was younger, we used to pay to ride horses along the beach, and it was a long ride from the part there with the rocks, straight over to where
the hotels.
To where the hotels were.
Almost to the hills.
Yeah, so we used to ride horses and come back. We used to rent the floaties to go out, and so because it was so far. Right now, where we are,
it's at the shop.
It literally.
What I remember as well, we could literally play.
Yes.
And we could literally walk down from the shops, the food shops, go down.
It was a long stretch.
No, you notice the water is at the shop
door.
Yeah, the shop step.
The step. So that in itself is a memory to me, and I can use that as a vivid example.
Sobering
memory. Anywhere I go into the road, because that is what I know for sure, and what I'm used to from going to high school at Norman Manley to today.
And Father, that happened in your lifetime as a young
It shows that climate change is real, it's in our faces, and how do we resolve the issues there? But why do you think then, I mean, we're setting the context, but why do you think it's important for young people to have a voice in conversations about energy and climate solutions in the region? Chelsea, you mentioned, for example, we all know, even studying, Trinidad is the capital of oil and gas in our region. Jamaica may have bauxite or aluminum and other materials. But why should us as young people be a part of this energy and climate solution conversation? Let's start with you, Chelsea.
Because at the end of the day, we are the ones that are going to be the leaders next on. And if we don't get the opportunity to learn and to actually take up these spaces now, when we get to that point, you won't have anybody who's trained to do it, And then I think it's really important as well for youth to step into this space to inspire other youth as well. I think it's very important. You see, energy transition is a bit of a tricky thing.
Yes.
Everyone is so accustomed to traditional fossil. It's at an affordable price. It's what they're accustomed to. People are just generally, they oppose change if they don't understand what the new thing is, And I think you need to train youth. You need to let them understand that, hey, what is coming here? This is something safe. This is something you should do. And I think the earlier that you learn and understand that, the better the energy transition will be. Because this is our earth at the end of the day.
Yes.
We have to practice and to do the right things, and we have to prepare for the inevitability that, this is where the conversation is going, and we have to do something, or else we are the ones that would face the consequences of it,
That's true.
I think one thing that we can use vividly or, use easily is the fact that we're seeing different things are happening around us. We can use Hurricane Melissa as one of the basic things as Jamaicans. And of course, how that would have affected us. Some people are still without electricity today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a reliance on those type of sources for electricity, when we could at least be championing solar, affordable and inclusive for all people, whether rural or urban communities. And so having them a part of the conversation is very important. I want to use the policy, the discussion around policy and action. So we're starting with 2015 when, the SDGs came around, SDG 7, sustainable energy or clean energy for all.
Yeah.
And then we have Jamaica's Vision 2030, which includes energy as one of the components. And, Vision 2030 goes up until 2030, or Vision for all. I think for us to achieve any of these things and targets, we have to ensure that young people are involved as stakeholders and implementers as well. So it goes beyond policy and also action, getting them involved, because we, young people are developing projects around these ideas. On the broader level, the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, which is CRE, would have been championed sustainable energy for all in the Caribbean through roadmaps, this Caribbean Sustainable Energy Roadmap, which is one of the important aspects of the discussions around sustainable energy within the Caribbean, but also at the national level where there is different policies for each country. And so having them being involved, us as young people involved, is very crucial.
So stick a pin there, because I'm glad that you latched on to the Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs. And we are a big proponent here at the Talk Up Youth radio show and the Talk Up Youth family overall on what these goals are. You mentioned two already, but I know one of the panels in your workshop discourse would have been between Sustainable Development Goal 7, which focuses on affordable and clean energy, and Sustainable Development Goal 13, which focuses on climate action. So how do you see these two goals working together in the Caribbean, Chelsea? Because you mentioned, for example, specifically that, yes, it's cheap, clean, it's accessible, but where is the sustainability thereafter? How do we face that?
So in a sense, regarding the linkage between sustainable goals 17 and 13,
7 and 13,
7 and 13, the reliance on fossil fuels simply means that there is going to be much more challenge as relates to climate, and if we want to reduce the level or the amount of reliance that we have on fossil fuels, then we have to take into the consideration the fact that also it will continue to impact climate on a much more broader level. And so there is a very clear linkages as to us trying to have much more renewable energy sources in our system so that we can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and sources of energy, and by doing so there's going to be much more a limit in greenhouse gas emission, because once we're digging and drilling for more fossil fuels, it means that greenhouse gas emissions will increase, and that we don't want that. We want to limit our greenhouse gas emissions to to the 1.5 degree level. That is what we've been advocating for across the Caribbean, and so the conversation around SDG 7 and SDG 13 is much more of a broader link, not just at the policy or the law as relates to law, but to ensure that there is a clear linkages between them in terms of
exploring the clear linkages between both, because
there is one. The more we dig for oil or the more we dig for gas and so on, it means that there's going to be much more levels of emissions, and so we have to ensure that whatever policies that we are doing are aligned to both of them, because they're all interlinked. So that's the essence behind of it.
So the theme of this workshop focuses on energy equity and inclusion in the changing climate. What does energy equity means to you, Chelsea, and why is it important for communities across the Caribbean?
I would say energy equity would, to me, would mean that you are able to tap into different resources to fuel your country and to be able to utilize these things in an effective way. Not everyone has access to all of the fossil fuels that are there. As in some of the workshops that we would have done yesterday, going through all of the reports and whatnot, you're able to see, you actually can go online and see these things as we would have done in the workshops. You're able to see the data.
Yes.
And so I could pull up for Jamaica, I could pull up for Trinidad, I could pull up for Barbados, and I'm able to compare. And that's something that I actually learned in the workshop yesterday, Okay. I was not familiar with the fact that Jamaica actually is the leader in renewable energy, and by so much. We knew that they were like that, but I had no idea it was so much. And something that stuck out to me was the fact that this is the way that it is because of the amount of policy and legislation and things that we put in place. When you look at it, these charts, and I really encourage people to look at the charts that are there online so you can see, the evidence is there for you to know. When you have these policies in place, you see the impact of it, you see the benefits of it in these states and whatnot, and I think that countries need to definitely look at what our neighbors are doing and try to improve based on those things. So Jamaica, for example, I think it was like 3 pages long of policies on everybody else was like 1 page, So that's crazy to me.
So I'll ask Mario, which groups or communities in the Caribbean are most affected by energy insecurity?
Well, before you even go there, though, let him comment on,
on the whole thing in terms of
what is energy equity to you, Mario?
The conversation around energy equity is about the involvement of people and how they have access to the different sources of energy.
Yes.
So when you look at it, a country in a rural area, a community in a rural area, do they have access to solar panel? Do they have the resources to get access to solar panels? And one of the things that we can look at just recently is now Jamaica in a sense recently have its own national energy poverty reduction program that is now being funneled through the Jamaica Social Investment Fund.
What them I wanna know now?
Me don't know this.
No, stick up.
No.
Take a bit more
I see you something. How will you find this out? Tell me more about it. You can't just drop this so.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about it.
The National Energy Poverty Reduction Program, which is being championed by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, is particularly focused on electrification of houses.
Electrification
of houses. So in a sense, just recently when we had, Melissa, many of the houses would have been, damaged. And so one of the elements of their program is going in to ensure that these houses have access to energy sources right? Because what? They don't have any house. So whatever new buildings are being built or was damaged, they are now trying to rebuild them. Whatever is being rebuilt, they have the resources to help homes to be
properly retrofitted
and retrofitted.
So energy equity then in the Cliffs Note version is people, resources, and access.
Yes,
access to
people.
I like that.
Because you can have these things there, but if you don't have access to it, you don't have the knowledge on how to use it. You don't know, it's useless. So you need to actually be able to go out there and use it and have access to those things.
I like that. So people, resources, and access. So stick and stay, don't go away. This is the Talk Up Youth radio show, and today we are the voices of the Climate Change Youth Council. More after this break. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
We'll soon come back.
Must be Jamaican. When you smell the food I cook when the breeze blow, got to be Jamaican. Hey, beautiful smile, God. We the town of the people.
We love showing you the fun side of Jamaica. New places, good food, real vibes, and pure adventure.
Sweet Jamaica. Sweet Jamaica, we now left ya.
If you enjoy exploring with us, come closer. Join the nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Commercial spaces for you. Parks and attractions for you. Housing and residential developments for you. Beautiful rental properties for you. Improving quality of life through infrastructure development across Jamaica for you. The Urban Development Corporation, making development happen for you. Brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
UDC for you.
You may have been hearing the teasers. Now it's official. Beginning Monday, February 9, 2026, Nationwide News Network launches something special. The Nationwide Family Club, exclusively on Patreon.
With the Family Club, members get early access to our documentaries before anyone else. Some of your favorite segments, including Cliff Says, What's on My Mind, Cover Story, and others, will now be a click away inside the Family Club. There are 3 tiers of membership. First, Bronze, the Family Insider, behind-the-scenes access, Monday motivational videos, members-only chats, and on-air birthdays and anniversary shoutouts.
Second, Silver, nationwide VIP. Breaking news alerts, exclusive documentaries, quizzes, personal milestones celebrated on air, and weekly family roll call mentions. Oh, and for our biggest supporters,
Our gold category, elite listener, full archive access, early releases, private studio tours, live show experiences, personalized birthday videos, and exclusive live streams. From historic election coverage to lifetime, impact, Jamaican milestones, and rare archive content. This is nationwide like you've never seen it before. The Nationwide Family Club, coming to you February 9, 2026 on Patreon.
Join the family, support Nationwide 90 FM, the station that informs, entertains, and educates. Visit patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. That's patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. Nationwide Family Club, where you are family, because we see you as family.
From early childhood to higher education, from smart classrooms to school nutrition, Jamaica's education system is evolving fast. The Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information is leading the charge. Broadband in schools across the island, 6 new STEM-focused secondary schools on the way, thousands of teachers trained in cutting-edge technology, and more students in high-demand TVET programs than ever before. We're empowering learners, equipping educators, and transforming education for Jamaica's future. The Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, we are trending, transforming education for national development.
This is Nikisha Barnes representing for Talk Up Radio, a Talk Up Youth production held every Saturday 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Talk Up Youth, Mr. for Talk Up Youth.
another party, yeah. I ain't not watching nobody, yeah. Pull up another Rari, yeah. Bare feelings that I carry. Pull up another Audi, yeah. I ain't not watching nobody, yeah. Pull up another card, yeah. I ain't not watching nobody but you. Pull up another Lada. Put me off the Benz and the Prada. And a couple brand new order. All of them fully don't matter. 0 to 102. Yeah, so I'ma flex on you. All in on my section view, I set on you. Then me get a text come true, so I'ma show you what my legs can do. Pull up another party, yeah. I ain't not watching nobody, yeah. Pull up another Rari, yeah. Bare feelings that I carry. Pull up another Audi, yeah. I ain't not watching nobody, yeah.
Welcome back to the Talk of Youth radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, and we are having such a maldamastic day so far, right, Malik?
Definitely, we are definitely having one, and I see you over there putting up in your fake.
No. Hi. Listen.
Dream big. No. I like that though. Dream big, work hard, and dream big, my friend.
Anyways, let's get back to the conversation. We're talking about climate change and the Climate Change Youth Council and a conference that happened, that concluded just yesterday at the Jamaica Conference Center. If you're just joining us, we have Maria Galbert from Jamaica, one of the key convener and organizers of the conference, and we also have Chelsea Eli Nadlal.
Chelsea Nadlal, yes. From Trinidad and Tobago.
I'm notorious for butchering names, forgive me.
So we're having the conversation specifically, and we ended on a little cliff note.
Yeah.
Or a cliffhanger specifically about energy equity, and you're mentioning specifically something I think would have been of very keen interest to our listeners, Mark. Just finish the point on that.
So the conversation on the National Energy Poverty Reduction Program that is undertaken by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund through its partners, including the PIOJ, the Ministry of Energy, Transport and Telecommunications. The program is focused primarily on electrification, and this would have been very important, particularly due to the impact of Melissa on the western end of the island. Many people without houses, people are still without light, electricity. GPS, I just read something that GPS, lists communities that by that they should be getting back electricity by the end of March. But what is important about the program focuses on also trying to provide renewable energy sources for some homes in those areas across Jamaica. So small solar panels, electrification of homes, because some homes are flattened, and some homes need rewiring and so on. And so the program would have been very much impactful. We had a presentation, and I believe it was a core aspect of the workshop, because you're focusing on particularly on reducing the issue of energy inequity in our region and our country. And the Melissa would have provided Jamaica an opportunity to impact more of its people across communities, particularly in rural Jamaica, where the hurricane would have affected most of the communities. And so the Energy Poverty Reduction Program, is touching lives and people, giving access. And for us at the Caribbean Climate Council, we consider this as an element of justice. When it's justice for people, social justice for all. And reason why we say, when we look at the issue of climate justice and climate change, we look at the fact that, we go to the people, and when things are happening, we impact each person that we can impact, each community that we can impact. And so when I was reviewing the program of the National Energy Poverty Program, I was saying this is perfect for young people to have knowledge about. And so I thank the JCIF for joining us in person and presenting on the program and its impact since Hurricane Melissa and ongoing.
I love that, and I love that you've given us the broad scale of the policy level of things and how it can be replicated now in a domestic or even a social setting.
Or a local setting.
Now, moving from the high level then now to, I don't even want to say low level, but to the more practical on the ground for any listener or viewer who is hearing or watching us now on our pages. What are some examples of youth-led initiatives or innovations or ideas that could help Caribbean countries transition now toward cleaner and more sustainable energy systems? And I think that's, what's practical that you want to hear. And both Chelsea and Mario can chime in here.
So actually at the workshops yesterday, this was one of the activities. We had a simulation. They put us into groups and we had to come up with an idea. So my group in particular, Trinidad and Tobago, the capital city, Port of Spain, it's very congested, you know, so the idea that we would have came up with would be to create CNG buses, convert all of the buses to CNG, you know, so that's one example of it. But what's important is that there's a process that you have to follow through in order to get to that point.
So just explain to our listeners and viewers, what is CNG?
Mario.
So it's a more cleaner energy source or cleaner. For example, you know, in Jamaica we have the buses that here, those are electric buses. So some of them are you know, recharge, or you know, the makeup of the bus allows for it to get charged.
So all of those fall in the category of CNG.
So versus having the smoke come out of the muffler, it's cleaner energy.
It's much more cleaner energy sources and cheaper.
Much cheaper.
So finish the point you were making, Chelsea. So you're saying having these CNG buses to help fix your traffic congestion problem, or your not just the traffic congestion, but because the traffic congestion
and the air quality,
the emissions, the cost on the persons as well. And it was important for us to note to do that exercise because it pointed out to us that what works for Jamaica will not work for Trinidad. What works for Trinidad will not work for Montserrat. You know, so you have to look at your territory, assess the data, see what your problems are, and then you can pitch. And you know, these are things that youths can do. You know, come up with an idea, go to your various ministers, engage your relevant partners, see how it, you know, they want to hear from you. They want to see inspired youth. And a lot of people think, I'm young, does my voice even matter? It does. It actually does in the long run, you know.
I love that. Mario?
And for example, when we look at Jamaica, you know, the conversation around Jamaica, this is why we had those buses, you know, that, you know, we have much more clean energy sources. We see where people are pushing for EVs and more people having sustainable lifestyle practices, which, you know, the conversation around us buying more EVs is a part of this, you know, broader discussion that people need to be, you know, supporting the sustainable energy transition that we need. And so, you know, the conversation about us moving away from fossil fuels to much more cleaner societies, or cleaner and greener societies, is broadly on the basis that, you know, our societies are having challenges. We see where people are having more, we're having more hurricanes.
I get you, I hear you, but one of the major pushbacks against this would be the cost that's attached to it. What would be your comment when somebody say, oh yes, all sounds good and fair in a utopian society, but what's the dollar value if the government is supposed to do this? You know, when there are other pressing matters, pertinent matters that would need competing with it.
Sometimes we say, you know, so we have to do it now to have the impact at a later time, the positive impact that we need at a later time. And in this very case, I'll use that example because when we look at our counterparts in maybe in Europe who have access to more resources, when you travel there and you see the buses, their systems, you'll say, okay, more buses, so people don't want to buy much more cars because the government would have implement policies in place to ensure that, you know, people feel comfortable and safe to travel at any point at all at night on more comfortable buses, on trains and so on. In the case of Jamaica, we're saying, right? If the electric vehicles are much more expensive, we have to start somewhere so that people can understand. And at some point later, when the resources become accessible to our governments, we can say governments may be able to subsidize more charging imports in the public so we can have access to it. So we have to start from somewhere. So that's just the reason why I say we have to start from the policy and then the action. So the policies are in place to support long-term actions so that we can all benefit. We're not telling everybody to jump to EVs, no.
Right.
But we have to have some sort of, you know, level.
To put the policy framework in place to facilitate it in the long run.
And in terms of cost as well, we should not undermine the fact that there are international institutions that do fund things. Like we have things like the World Bank, we have like the IDB that people could reach out to for grants to speed up processes like this, you know. So you don't necessarily have to bear the entire burden as people think that happens.
And of course, the other aspect is the finance. The
critical.
Yes. We have in Jamaica and other countries have international development partners. One of them is GIZ, And they're supporting the region in terms of our electricity or transition away from fossil fuel type of transport system, and they have e-mobility campaign, that they've been pushing and supporting projects across the region. And of course, this Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Transition and the UAE is a partner of this. It's being implemented in Jamaica, I think, Grenada and Barbados. And so we have to utilize the opportunity that is there to partner with our international partners to ensure that whatever we're doing, we don't just do it quick immediately, so there is going to be negative impact on our societies, because that is going to have ripple effects. So we just have to ensure that when we're transitioning, and this is the reason around the workshop. The workshop which we brought together young people is to allow us to have a better understanding of the entire sustainable energy ecosystem in the Caribbean region.
Across the length and breadth of the
region.
region.
So every country, that's why we wanted representation from every country, so that people can say, okay, the partners are here to do this. We just need to have the strategy in place, the policies in place, and then we can also say, okay, go out and seek the financing to ensure that we have a much more clean and sustainable transition to sustainable energy.
So we're equipped in it, so go for be great and practice what you're
exactly.
learning. So looking ahead, the concise as possible. Looking ahead to 2030, what changes based on the discussions and the discourse that happened over the last 2, 3, 4 days at your conference? What changes would you guys like to see most in the Caribbean when it comes to sustainable energy access and climate action? And what role can the youth play in making that happen?
So what's your wish list? It's a wish list. What's your wish list coming out of that conference?
So from us, from the Caribbean Climate Council, we're saying that we want governments to come in place, work together to have these strategies that you have already implemented them.
Yes.
The Caribbean Sustainable Energy Roadmap is one of those strategies, and so we want to see a much more transition, government buildings in the urban and rural spaces, farmers, businesses. So we want to see actual transitions. So if we go into Kingston now, we want to see more buildings with solar panels. We want to see much more EVs, much more
CNG
CNG buses, the compressed natural gas buses, or e-mobility buses. So we want to see more of that, more of those things, so that we can reduce our energy bills across the region and have much more access to clean and sustainable energy sources. So that is it in a nutshell, and that's why our young people as well would have developed some of their projects that we expect them to implement over the next year. Because from this workshop, we expect to also have another big event in September 2027 in Jamaica, whereby we want them to come and show us and the people at this conference what they would have done in terms of implementing a project. That is just a nutshell of what we expect, and then of course Chelsea will be there and others from Trinidad, Tobago, Barbados, and all those Caribbean islands which are present. And of course, myself and the team will be engaging with them over the next year to ensure that whatever we have discussed, they execute. We try to get the resources mobilized and the support that is needed for the project to be successful.
I like that. Any wish list items for you, Chelsea?
I think for me as an attorney, I definitely need to see much more legislation being put in place. I want to see more policy being put in place. Like I would have said, Jamaica is so far advanced and compared to the rest of the Caribbean, where policy and legislation is concerned, and you definitely see the effect of that, because you'll have so much more technology you'll tap into, and beyond legislation and policy, I want to see much more institutional strengthening. I want to see, like Mario said, I want to see the projects actually going out there and being done. I want to see incentives for corporations to buy in and actually make changes on their end as well. I want to see educational outreach programs and whatnot. So that's
I love
my
that.
wish list.
I think that could also be a hashtag. I want to see. I want to see these things. Executed
for 2030. I want to see.
I love that. So just wrapping up now the conversation though. So this conference, Mario and Chelsea, how many delegates did you have? What are the different representative territories you saw? And overall, what was your vision for the conference? And do you feel like it was executed
and achieved?
So the vision that we had, we wanted to train 30 people from across the Caribbean. Unfortunately, due to funding and budgetary constraints, we did not meet that number. We had about 25 people, including Jamaicans, each day.
Yes.
And we want to thank the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency for their support, and others would have supported our work. We would have achieved what we wanted.
Excellent.
And I'm happy. I'm really happy. You know, young people were able to go to the nuclear center to see that type of energy source that you know we would have discussed.
Anyway. They would have. They never know so we have a nuclear center. Where is this nuclear center?
When I saw the post, I was like, we did have this all this time.
Yeah, where is this
center? The International Center for Environmental and Nuclear Sciences at the University of West Indies, Mona campus. They have a reactor there. The rector. So we would have carried them there to view that. We also wanted them to go to the e-mobility lab that they have at UE that is supported by GIZ there.
Well, big up UE, you were going on with a lot of things up there on the University of West Indies Mona campus. I like that.
Light that is rising from the west.
I love it.
So we have achieved most of our objectives. What is important though is what happens after the conference.
Yes. Important.
We have a strategy and a target, which is to ensure that for the next year, up until March next year, we have some sort of implementation, and of course, as Chelsea would have said, the public awareness aspect of it is one thing that we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to have sponsors and financiers on board, and that is my responsibility to reach out to all of those international entities. But what I also want to use this opportunity to say is that we need our governments to come on board with us and support us. And also, when you're doing your projects, you ensure that you think about the stakeholders who are involved, who should be involved in whatever implementation level.
Basically, proper consultation.
Yes, that is something that we look forward to. And that is not just Jamaica, but broadly across the region, because as said, Jamaica is leading along with Barbados and others.
Yes.
So we want others to come on board, of course. So that is something that we'll be doing for the next year.
I love that. Chelsea, any parting words for you?
Yeah, I just want to take a second to give Mario his kudos for putting together such a wonderful workshop, you know. From all of the sessions, all of them were conducted by experts who learned from the best of these things, and it was a very important conversation to have to train people. I am really looking forward to executing these projects. Hopefully we get the support back in Trinidad and Tobago. All of the youth that were there are very, very, very passionate people. You know, we have representation from Trinidad, from Jamaica, from Barbados, Montserrat, Antigua, Grenada.
And St. Lucia.
St. Lucia. I don't want anybody to beat me with
we try to have a vast
and good representation across the region.
And I want to thank the Caribbean Youth Economic Council team. You know, some of us could not come in person because of budgetary issues.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure that we have a target of 100 for the Caribbean Youth Environmental Climate Change Conference in 2027 in Jamaica here. And you know, we start planning in September this year.
Excellent.
For that, and so it's going to be big. We want to have impactful projects being shown, and you know, presenters with the new knowledge, new projects which are coming, and new funding for the region. And so we expect it to be good. And so we look forward to partners and sponsors that board then.
I think we at your Talk Up Youth Radio family are just so proud of the work you're doing, Mario and Chelsea, and you know, just the passion that we can see coming from you, and know that, you know, obviously we're here to support and laud you and cheer you along as you try to ensure we have a sustainable future for all of us. Environment and climate change are two issues that are becoming more topical, we realize. They've been there before, but you realize now that youth are taking their place, or rather claiming their place and the space to have these conversations and to bring out the knowledge that others can benefit from as well. So just tell us now where we can find out more information about the Caribbean Youth Climate Council.
So we are on social media. It's, you know, one CYCC. It's easy to find us. You'll see us. And if you need also any important information about the workshop, there are some media releases that we expect others to release from. There is a media report, and we will also be doing some reports about this, so you can easily just say CYCC, and you will come up in your Google search.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Mario and Chelsea, for joining us and for just edutaining us, because this was both informative and also entertaining to hear the conversations them on. So let's switch over to the break. This is the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. And so Mario and Chelsea have to help us close out this segment now.
It's a tradition.
So how we do it is we say Talk Up Youth. You must say Misefi Talk Up Youth. You're just repeating the same thing that we're saying.
So Talk Up Youth, Misefi.
Talk Up Youth. Yes. Okay. So this is the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, and today we were the voices of the Caribbean Youth Climate Council and the wonderful workshop they had on sustainability and climate action. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
We still come back.
Yeah, so flex my yo. All in on my section view, I set my yo. Then me get a text come true, so I'ma show you what my legs can do. Pull up another party, yeah. I ain't not watching nobody, yeah. Pull up another Rari, yeah. Bare feelings that I carry. Pull up another Audi, yeah. I ain't not watching nobody, another card, yeah. I know it's nobody but you.
Talk Up Youth and talk the truth. I ask the bush that representing for Talk Up Youths here and nationwide, 90 FM, every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bush!
You them have a voice here, and it matters. The Family Club helps us to keep giving young people the mic. If you believe in that, join the nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Hey yo, me is a youth, no in a hurry. Me love me chick.
Exciting news! The Design Studio on Nationwide 90 FM just got a whole lot bigger. Join us this and every Saturday now from 1 to 3 p.m. for an exclusive show that elevates your home, mind, and soul. Discover the latest interior design trends to create your dream sanctuary. Unlock your true potential with personal growth strategies. Nourish your body and spirit with expert wellness tips. Don't miss out on the inspiration you need to live your best life. Tune in to the Design Studio this and every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. and take the first step towards a more fulfilling you.
Make me sweat. It's Monday. Get over your blues. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The E-Zone is here for you. With the Stinger Honeybee
and Karim Boyatings
from 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
We've got your entertainment news.
Then we want to hear your views. Why you say?
Jump in the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss our brain busters.
Or the crazy giveaways.
Let's talk fashion.
Send us your outfit of the day. Ooh, cutesy. Very demure.
Are you looking for love?
Come on one of our blind dates. Send your request to ezone blinddates@gmail.com. That's ezoneblinddates@gmail.com.
And stay tuned for your confessions.
These are my confessions. Share them with us at ezoneconfessions@yahoo.com. I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bugger thing.
Ow! Ow!
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Those oldies but goodies reminds me of you.
Hey my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status if you consider. The least you ever test once a year. Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late so you're out of time. A progressive future, mandatory. Real long life, our story. You hear?
Remember, update your status in a real life. Go HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Real long life, our story. Real long life was a youth coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Yeah, man, you don't know. This is Naomi Cowan representing for Talk Up Youth. This on every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Talk Up Youth. Me say, Talk Up Youth. Yeah, you have to stand for your rights now. Now is the time.
Tell the people.
Now play by the king, love is all iron I serves in the bring, you know.
Every time.
Consistently.
Every line. Yeah. Hey yo, me is a youth, no in a hurry. No. Me love me chick peas and my tofu curry. Jah bless my belly full and me never spend no money. 2 big pack chai when me get from my mommy. She give a St. Elizabeth, she say baby no worry. Them fresh vegetable Tony Rebel couldn't carry. The only thing she want is another big tune. So call Ricky Joe, papi put it on tube. Send it on a boom son, baby drop it on speaker. Wait junior, bang junior, gang with the feature. Mix and release, make we trample the bass. 21 goes a low, check a finger be squeeze. Yo, I just love I and I breathe. And I still life over everything. To the 4 seasons, nothing don't change. Keep the things straight, so we never switch states. Positive vibes, yes, what we do. Whatever we need, just put up with it. Gotta wipe out while man I make plans. So in all things, and we have to give thanks, and we have to give thanks.
How we say life over everything. I listen Lassie over every king. Love over money, money over gun. Give thanks a little over none. Long time we tell them make a muckle. But them a laugh and a chuckle and a buck shuffle. How we say blinging but not overdone. See they know the cup of overrun. How we say love for all over some. How we say rise up Rasta children and never run. And inspire one another to stand up and overcome and keep showing love forever, never done.
Yo, I just love I and I breathe. And I still life over everything. To the 4 seasons, nothing don't change. Keep the things straight, so we never switch states. Positive vibes, yes, what we do. Whatever we need, just put up with it. Gotta wipe out while man I make plans. So in all things, and we have to give thanks, and we have to give thanks. I do them so. They are this Ababa, pick up the stage show. Liquidity grey, Amara, Amoro. Jaja step forward, the devil keep low. Now you ready, let's go. Let Babylon in style. Mother and child, multiply bloodline. Everything in its time, manifest it and smile. No chronic, same life, fresh from the exile. Times are a-changing, conflict as well. Tension arise, people under a spell. In a land full of hate, we show love to rebel.
Love, 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 love,
watch
love,
the world burn down. Yo, I just love I and I breathe. And I still life over everything. To the 4 seasons, nothing don't change. Keep the things straight, so we never switch states. Positive vibes, yes, what we do.
Now we in the world.
Most natural is love, gotta wipe out while man I make plans. So in all things, and we have to give thanks. Yo, I just love I and I breathe. And I still life over everything. To the 4 seasons, nothing don't change. Keep the things straight, so we never switch states. And I be our vibes, and yes, what we do. Anything we need, just put up with it. Gotta wipe out while man I make plans. So in all things, and we have to give thanks, and we have to give thanks.
Excuse me, no pagans. Can't seek validation. Toast and admiration from you nor your patrons. Posting about name brands. Because over 8 grand. When me searching up the same one. With the cost of a straight pants. Why own a Ferrari? With nowhere to park it, boy. Why shop a Louis V? When there is a target. Now me hype on my face thing. True minds me a save it. Them go fend if it trendy. Bank account can't empty. Acres over markets. Link my wife and my wasses. Cause when side got breed up. Child support that lead to. Farming over plastic. Investment over profit. Inheritance when me seeds up. Me alright being made. Yo. If you are 50 and never make a brings get used. Means you're poor so your kids next to employment you use as a big excuse. You want him grow so him get through. See him 24 hours so what you have to. When your kids do good you
welcome back to the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. And if you're just joining us, you're listening to yours truly, Demoy Whiteley, and of course
none other than the voice of your boy Malik. And today we've had such an exciting discussion about climate change, energy resilience and sustainable development goals specifically, but now we're shifting gear a little bit more into our
youth in entrepreneurship. And we're speaking today to Zempo Apparel, the founder, Zaire Smith. Zaire, how are you?
Welcome to the Talk Up You radio show. Now, we know from our research so far, Demoy, that Zempo Apparel is a youth-owned clothing brand founded by 6 college students who share a passion for fashion, creativity, and ambition. The brand was originally started while the team was still in high school at Wolmer's Boys School and has continued to grow stronger since then. Since its establishment, Zempo has released 2 successful collections, The Sky's the Limit and Chase Greatness. Both designs quickly became crowd favorites and sold out just over a week after their release, highlighting the strong support and demand for the brand. Due to this demand, the team has continued to restock and resell these pieces while preparing for future collections. Big up to you, Zempo Apparel. Zempo Apparel represents more than just clothing. It reflects a mindset of ambition, growth, and self-belief. The brand aims to inspire young people to pursue greatness while expressing themselves through fashion. Currently, Zempo is preparing for its next drop, scheduled for the second quarter of 2026, and this upcoming collection will introduce bodysuits for women and unisex tracksuits, I guess in time for champs, I hope, continuing the brand's commitment to delivering stylish, high-quality apparel. With a growing community of supporters and a clear vision for the future, Zempo Apparel is focused on expanding its reach and establishing itself as a standout, youth-driven brand in the fashion industry. Big up yourself, Zaire and Zempo Apparel team. So, you started this when you were still in high school, Zaire, with your friends. Can you tell us how the idea for the brand first came about?
So the idea for the brand, it really came about in first form, actually.
Wow, first form.
First form.
Yeah, I was around a group of friends during geography class, actually. I shouldn't be talking, by the way. But yeah, they had an idea to create a hill, and it was called Zane Hills. But we said, how can you get a hill without money? You know what I mean? So what we really did is that we come up with a concept of creating a group of like companies under one name. So the first name that was about was Jose. And from there, we just continue till we change it to Zempo in like second form that was.
All right. So, as you mentioned, the brand was founded by 6 college students with a shared passion for fashion and creativity in your class, as you shared about the Zen here, right? How has working as a team shaped the growth of Zempo?
Oh, I would like to say something real quick.
Sure.
The 6 of us was more in 6-4. It really went through a growth. The brand really went through a big growth. So
share,
the concept.
Tell us about the growth. Walk us through that growth.
All right. So in first one, as I said,
the idea came.
The idea came. Geo class, the hill,
everything. And then, funny story. Me and my friend Imar Sterling, we had it to kick off. You know what I mean? But we were playful kick off, really and truly. And we created Zempo. And he created that next name, I can't remember what it was. In third form, it was like, okay, we need to actually put this to action. How are we going to first do this? And then we were like, okay, YouTube's a very good way we can do. So we created YouTube, all this different type of stuff. But it's not until lower 6, upper 6, in between those times, is when I got the group, which is the 6 of us, and we actually sit down and be like, okay, what are we going to do? And as I said, Zempo means mindfulness and forward. So how can we show our message to the people? And one way was to do it through fashion.
So when you got the 6 of you to sit down, how did you work through that process of, all right, Zahir and Chris, you know, this is what we're going to do, which direction we're going to go, the opposing views, the contending views. How did you guys work through that as a team in order for your brand to be as successful as it is right now?
Yeah. All right. So really and truly, I already had the vision from before, as I said, in lower 6, but then I went to them and be like, okay, because I knew them from before, but I never really talked to them about Zempo.
Right.
So like, I was like, okay, this time now, I'm gonna actually sit down with them, and they came, or we did meetings. We do meetings like what, 3 times a week?
Oh, true businessman.
Yeah, so we did meetings, and then over the course of those meetings, we came up with a business plan, and then we came up with concepts, and then we came up with Sky's the Limit collection, and we were like, all right, this is it, and this is where we're going to start. And from there, we just keep building. You know, meetings used to keep 3 times a week. Probably now it probably keep like a 1 time a week now. But
So your collection, the sky's the limit, as you've mentioned, and Chase Greatness sold out in just over a week. What do you think made those releases connect so strongly with your audience?
Well, we have a hardworking team, and we have the real marketer, Malik Cargill, and he came up with a plan exactly what we can do to really market to the people.
Yes.
And we just create a lot of content, we keep posting it, and it was really a hype thing and a build-up thing, because from long time, they're like, oh, Zaire, release this, release that. We had the concept from long time. So the fact that it finally just dropped now, everyone just quickly adapt to it and be like, okay, this is what I want, and then just grab it at the same time.
So the marketing was a big or critical part of getting it out there. I see, is it a Chase Greatness shirt that you have on now?
Yeah,
For those who are, watching us on YouTube, you can see Zaire in the Chase Greatness shirt. Superior Chase Greatness. I like that. And these are words of affirmation, or good words or positive words that we want our young people and all viewers and purchasers, to engage with. And I see our producer actually has put up for us some of the designs there, so the samples there that you can see as well on your screen if you're watching us on YouTube, and you can see some of the models in some of the designs there as well. But you mentioned as well that Zempo represents more than just clothing. So these are part of that we're seeing now are part of which collection?
The Sky's the Limit.
The Sky's the Limit collection. And I see, for example, the butterfly. I see
the colors.
The colors are popping there in some of these designs as well. Zenpo represents, though you were mentioning, Zaire, more than just clothing. It promotes ambition, growth, and self-belief. What message do you hope young people take away when they wear your brand?
The same thing that's on these shirts, really. And
Yeah.
truly. Chase greatness. As I said, Zen means mindfulness, Po means forward. So no matter where you are, rich, poor, married, single, educated or not, you be mindful of where you are and you chase greatness, because really the sky is just the limit.
Being an entrepreneur can be difficult, and starting your own clothing business company as students can be even more difficult.
Yeah.
What were some of your biggest challenges you faced while building Zenpo?
Well, finding the right people for the brand. As I said, from first form.
Yeah.
And it really just kicked off in sixth form. That's when I found all 6 of them. So finding the right people is one main problem I arise.
So when you say right people, you're talking energy, or you're talking persons who believed in you, those who probably were a bit more direct, the persons who would finance, persons who
what are your thought process behind right people?
Yeah, the person who actually believed in the vision that I wanted to carry it out.
And I think that's critical that, you have the right people who are going to support the vision, so that even when the going gets tough, clearly them are, they'll be there to support you. So I think the right people, what I'm getting from Zaire is who will buy into the vision to also contribute to the vision. But what other challenges, if any, did you face setting up?
Well, finding an investor. That's the next big challenge.
Critical.
Yeah. We finally got an investor now, so thank you. Big up to Giovanni. But yeah, he actually said, okay. He actually looked at us and be like, I actually believe in you guys, because not many people believe. We're like 18.
Right.
We're just a group of 18-year-olds say, okay, we want to be a clothing man. Who really in the right mind would be like, okay, I'm gonna give you this amount of money and that amount of money. It's really a lot. So thank you for him.
So big up your investor. So you would have mentioned, you just said you're 18, you're a student. How do you balance a business while managing college life as an 18-year-old and also other responsibilities? How you balance that?
A balance is like you get a schedule, and okay, I'm gonna study on this day, I'm gonna do a little work on that day. You know what I mean? And you have to be flexible. You really do got to be flexible.
I love that.
Because even for today, for instance, as I said, I was a little bit sick earlier, but then I was like, okay, how can I really be able to, so I can come out, because the rest of them, they're busy right now, so because they're doing the work and stuff. So I was like, okay, I have to be flexible. So I go and be like, okay, I need to get this taxi, this, that, and then I just flexible and I'm able to come here.
And I think that's very critical for entrepreneurs overall, but even young entrepreneurs. That's as you're part of starting up, you have to know how to roll the punches, be flexible, manage your time, because you also have other or competing activities or interests, but you also are passionate about seeing this goal through. And I think that's a very critical life lesson or a life hack that you can share with young entrepreneurs. But you've mentioned that Zenpo is preparing for its next drop in the second quarter of 2026. Can you give us a little sneak peek of what people can expect from this new collection? I think some of your fans here and some of your buyers will be very interested. You don't have to tell us everything clearly because it's a new collection, but what can they look forward to the most as part of the sneak peek?
All will be revealed in due time.
Oh, this sounds very mysterious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that though. But
So this upcoming drop will include bodysuits for men and unisex tracksuits. What inspired that decision to expand?
So what's the
product
current line
yeah.
and why you're expanding into this line?
What Jamaican brands has been doing recently is really just focusing on like the girls, you know what I mean? Or just a t-shirt, you know what I mean? So we wanted to change up things and be like, okay, we're going to produce some more stuff for the girls, which is the bodysuits.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be like, okay, we can't just make t-shirts all our life. We want to bring something different, unique to the Jamaican like market. So we said, okay, we're going to bring some tracksuits as well. And you know what? All will be revealed in due time.
All will be revealed in due time. The brand, though, you know, has been built on a strong and supportive community already. How important has that support been? Apart from the members of the team, the 6, how has the support been for the growth of Zenpo?
It's been really great. You know what I mean? I mean, you have some people you really think would actually support you, some friends, but I guess it is what it is. But I have people like, I have a friend called Janelia. I have my loving girlfriend, and those type of people, they really help me and be like, sometimes I don't feel like, okay, I want to go back and be like, probably this is not going to work out, those type of stuff, but they're behind us to continue, move forward and everything, you know. I have my mother and my father, you know, and my father always said, be like a soldier, so whatever you do, just continue doing it. You cannot quit in this. So
I like that. So support is very critical to you and your team. You know, tell us where, though, that you think we can, as young entrepreneurs, do more or increase in our ability to do more for others. What advice would you give to young entrepreneurs about wanting to do more? So they have their brand, they're starting off with one thing. How can they tap into, apart from the finances as you've mentioned and the support from their family or their relatives, what else can they do to really build out, like how you're building out now? What advice would you give them?
Research, really and truly. Just keep researching how you
Critical.
can be able to build it even more. You have YouTube videos, you have ChatGPT, you know what I mean? So just ask it, say, what can I do to build this even to a bigger and better place? And you reach there definitely. So research is very crucial.
Very critical. And I think I like that for young entrepreneurs, because many of us sometimes they might get, you know, so stuck in this bubble of, oh my God, my project hasn't worked out, I'm frustrated, I'm miserable, and just drop it. When you have the passion or drive to do something more, but you don't have the resources. Yeah, you have to have that mindset.
You have to do it. That's what I always tell Zempo members, like, we have to do it. It's not what we can do, it's what we have to do. So it's that type of mindset we really go up with.
All right, and looking ahead, what is a long-term vision for Zempo Apparel, and where do you see the brand in the next few years?
Competing with Louis Vuitton.
Ooh, I like that.
You know what I mean? Those type of big brands, it's going to be a really big luxury streetwear brand. And Zempo Apparel is just under Zempo too. So we'll be going in real estate. We're going to go. The big vision to really say is to have our own airline one day. That's the big
so
vision.
It's what I'm getting is a conglomerate of companies.
A combination of different brands, but it's going to be that brand that you want people to talk about.
It's going to be a household brand. So when you're thinking of flight, Malik, you're going to think Zempo Airline.
Exactly.
Clothing, Zempo Apparel.
Yeah.
Real estate, Zempo Realtors.
Zempo Realtors.
We're trying to leave a big impact on the world before we leave. Because we live one life.
Big impact on the world. So tell us where we can find you on socials, find out more information, and look forward to the new release information now.
You can find me at Zaire T. Smith on all platforms. You can find Zempo Apparel at Zempo Apparel or Zempo LLC on Instagram, and I believe it's Zempo LLC on TikTok as well.
I love that. Zaire tuning in with us today, telling us about the work he's doing with Zenpo Apparel. And is there any of the other members you want to big up and thank for, you know, the work that they're doing now?
Anybody else?
Of course. You know, we have Christopher Boucher, we have Malik Cargill, we have Kelmy, we have Malik Brady. Yeah, we have Tayshawn Ellis. So big up to my members them, because I don't know, without you guys I don't know where I'd be right now. Because Zempo is really everything to me, and you guys really helped me out that much. Big up to my parents, of course, and everyone.
I love that. Zaire Smith, founder of Zenpo Apparel, and he is just a young entrepreneur showing us that it can be done, you must do it, but also you have to have the right attitude to do it. So we also tell you on behalf of your Talk Up Youth Radio family, just how ecstatic we are to see the work you are doing. And I think this is very encouraging to see young people, young men stepping out there, taking the risk, becoming business savvy, and wanting to do so much more for themselves and for their brand. So just want to pick up you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming and stopping by today. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you're getting to see some of the wonderful footage of some of the samples of the items. And we're looking forward to seeing the next collection in the next quarter or so of 2026. So just stick and stay, don't go away. This is the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. And Zaire, you're going to have to help us close out as a member of Zenpo Apparel. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie. Talk Up Youth. We'll soon come back.
Twinkle.
And so we come to know these youths and know these youths. Talk up yourself, the youths to know them roots. Nurture them, protect and love and hear these youths. Use to make them know I love we show these youths.
Save the youth, not kill the youth. A build we come for build the youth. Stop trick and fool and kill the youth. A build we come for build the youth. Empower and then skill the youth. A build we come for build the youth. Youths in action, Jamaica, we are
build the youths.
Talk Up Youth in Jamaica.
So some of you have been listening longer than I've been talking on radio, so this is our way of keeping it strong together. Join the nationwide 90 FM Family Club on Patreon and stay with us.
Sharing the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
Attention contractors, developers, and homeowners. Glacier White Corian Solid Surface is now at a special price. While stocks last, choose Corian for your commercial and residential projects. You won't regret it. It's durable, beautiful, and long-lasting. No sealing necessary. Corian is the #1 solid surface in the world. Second to none. Visit Home International Limited at 104 Constant Spring Road. Telephone 876-755-1970 or 876-276-6448. Open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We are having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also tune into the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Tune in to the Revolution in Media on Tuesday, March 10 for Nationwide's post-budget analysis series. From 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., our panel of experts will break down the national budget and what it means for businesses, workers, and you. Hear insights from President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Catherine Silvera, Senior Lecturer of Economics at UWI Mona, Dr. Christine Clark, Senior Tax Manager at the JN Group, Everald Dewar, Managing Director of A. Peart Advisory Services, Alison Peart, and Social Commentator Newton Harris. Don't miss Nationwide's post-budget analysis series on Tuesday, March 10 during Nationwide at 5 from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
The news cycle doesn't end on Friday. It needs perspective. That's why every Sunday at midday, Nationwide 90 FM presents The Week That Was. A clear, informed review of the top stories that shaped the past week, what really mattered and what lies ahead. No noise, no theatrics, just analysis, context, and clarity. The Week That Was. Sundays at 12 p.m. Understand the news before the week begins. Only on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Undeniable that we should be together.
The true beauty of music is that it connects people. It carries a message. It speaks to you. It changes you. And that's exactly what we do just for you every Sunday as we take you to Urban Paradise, 9:10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Urban Paradise is our weekly musical journey that will serve up 110 glorious minutes of positive storytelling through music, mixed in with inspirational features to provoke thought and to heal the soul.
Like a dream come true, just wanna be with you.
So join me, Diane Ashton Smith, this and every Sunday, 9:10 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. Urban Paradise, opening our hearts, connecting to others.
You them have a voice here, and it matters. The Family Club helps us to keep giving young people the mic. If you believe in that, join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Hey yo, me is a youth, no in a hurry. Me love me chick.
Talk Up Youth and talk the truth. I ask the Bush that representing for Talk Up Youths here and Nationwide 90 FM every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bush.
Chimney, new government, give thanks.
Sing it.
You know, every day,
Realest thing here in our world, brother.
we give thanks.
For real.
You spend all that money on your watch. How much time you spend with your son? So much money in the club. How much you spend with the ones you love? The simple things are your blessings. Simple things, them are your blessings, your blessing. Simple things are your blessing. And you don't notice your blessings. You pick it with the shoes by your feet. Now pick and choose the friends where you keep. You now watch where you eat. When last you get a good sleep. The simple things are your blessings. Simple things are your blessing, your blessing. Simple things are your blessing. You better notice your blessing.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, coming to you live on the best revolution station in Jamaica, Nationwide 90 FM. It's been a definitely domestic type of day today. Mal and Demoy have been holding it down in studio today. We've been discussing, climate change, climate action, and climate resilience. And then in our youth entrepreneurship segment, speaking with Zempa Pal there just now about the work they're doing, the passion they have, and the drive to positivity through clothing, fashion, and a passion for fashion, for want of a better term. But the more you were mentioning that, when you're looking at the YouTube, what are some of the YouTube comments we saw coming up from the discussion today? Because we have to big up our YouTube.
No, when I say to you that we have to big up our YouTube viewers religiously, they tune in every week. I want to big up Chris Mullins, Annie Smith, big up yourself. There's a lady who Marigold every morning.
Marvelous Marigold.
Yes, every morning I can look forward to a good morning message from Marigold. David, big up yourself. Sab and Abe Sterling, Amir Sterling, big up yourself. The conversation thus far in the chat has been good, and they have been tuning in to what we were talking about. They chimed in a bit where the energy conversation was concerned.
What were they saying about that?
I'm trying to scroll up to see it. My apologies. I'm trying to scroll up to see it. Malik, you just throw me under the bus right here.
No, but you were telling me that you were posting about the climate competition.
So
what the
Annie
top
was
points?
saying when you asked what was CNG, she shared with us, that CNG stands for compressed natural gas. And CNG is fuel made mainly from natural gas, mainly methane, that has been compressed to a high pressure so it can be stored in cylinders and used as fuels, especially in vehicles. Annie Smith, J for J, thank you for that. And other persons would have told her, thank you for the information. I love the circle community here.
Because it's collaboration.
Yes.
That's why I love to include them in the conversations as well, because they're tuning into what we're saying, but also adding to the conversation. And that's so important to us as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you can't go. You had another comment that
no,
you saw?
man, no. They're just telling you thanks. So thank you for that.
Okay, I love that. So let's talk a little bit about sports. So, today we're sharing some results from the Issa Schoolboys basketball matches this week. And so for the Issa Schoolboys basketball, the Rural Zone Under 16 Finals Game 2, Manchester High scored 56 to Herbert Morris Technical High School's 43. For Manchester, the top players or the top persons to watch were Wasim Windert with 21 points, Jaquan Palmer 17 points, 22 rebounds, and the series tied at 1-1. The Under 19 Finals Game 2 was not played this week due to the rain. So let's look out to see what's going to happen in the week ahead.
And we have the Issa Schoolgirls basketball. The scores on Friday, the Urban Zone, Holy Childhood scored 38 points and Arden scored 21 points. For Holy Childhood, the top scorer was Kimora Martin, 17 points and 11
Rebuttal?
What
is the term?
Rebounds.
I thought you were going to say rebuttal, but something says that debate this.
Wait, pause. We are a family, guys, and I say to you, Malik purposefully have me reading this because he knows that I don't know much about sports.
Oh, you haven't learned.
We're a family. So when Malik came, Malik was like, Demo, you're going to be so excited. We have a new sports segment that I want you to read. Malik, you set me up for that one. All right, and for Arden, we have Debian Bard, who scored 9 points. For the match with St. Hughes and St. Andrew Technical High School, St. Hughes scored 26 and St. Andrew Technical scored 21, with Sinead Downer scoring 20 points out of 26 for St. Hughes. She scored 20 out of 26 points for St. Hughes. And for stats, Tassana Campbell scored 15 points. Excelsior would have scored 38. Wilmot's Girls would have scored 21. And for Excelsior, Ayana Nelson scored 15 points.
And I like that. Mm-hmm. And then for St. Andrew Girls, or St. Andrew High School for girls, it's 35 points. The Queen's School, 38. For Queens, Danae Brown scored 24 points. To St. Andrew High School for girls, Kimani Solomon, 13 points, and Jory Ricketts, 12 points. Then we moved to the Rural Zone, where we had Manchester face off with Mushet High. Mm-hmm. Manchester had 14 points to Mushet High School's 13. For Manchester, Carcia Bizo scored 20 points, to Nandria Branford, 10 points, and Athalia Henningham, 14 points. To Mushet's Shanice Jarrett, 13 points.
And
then we moved over
St. Elizabeth Technical, we had them scoring 32 points to Holland High, 11. And for Steds, Karina White scored 14 points.
So tell us about the rebuttals now, Des Moines. The rebuttals in the basketball. What is a rebuttal in basketball? I don't even know. Tell me what that is. So
Malik,
clearly you know what a rebuttal is.
Malik, whatever rebuttal means, that's what it means.
No, sir.
Any sport, debate, basketball, wherever.
In basketball, the term is rebound. Do you know what a rebound is, Des Moines?
I know what a rebound is.
What is it?
Rebound is what rebound is. I'm
gonna throw you out the door.
All right. I'm waiting for my friend Annie Smith to tell me in the comment what rebound is.
A rebound is the recovery of the ball after a missed field goal.
I was gonna say that you catch the ball after. That's what you catch it.
You don't even know. Game possession after the missed shot is what a rebound is.
Hold on, Malik. When you shoot the ball and you catch it back, isn't that rebound?
By the way.
Malik, come man, have some faith.
Some faith. You come to the people in radio show that I'm talking about rebuttal. You think it's debate this? This is parliamentary.
And it's so funny because I made a mistake off air. And Malik was like, try to go say that, and I said the same thing. Malik, it's fine.
But it's very good to see both the Issa boys and girls basketball teams and the energy and the vibe surrounding the matches. And I think, we want to big up all of these schools and all these places. It's so heartening as well to see, for example, schools like from St. Elizabeth, which shows. What I like about statistics and data sometimes is it tells a story. Because you can still see, for example, St. Elizabeth, Holland, States coming out and playing amidst all that we have endured from the hurricane, to see these students out, and then there's a lot of training behind this and preparation, and to see them come out and do so well. Kudos, hats off, lots of praise to the schools, their coaches, and their teams.
And also, Malik, based on the scores that we can see here, we have some future. We have a future women basketball team that can probably compete internationally. Because if we have one school scoring 26 and one girl from that school scoring 20 of the 26 points, that is something to look forward to. But that's it for sports. Let's jump into social
Before
media.
Before even go to social media, though, more.
So I think, first of all, what is not social media? We don't have enough time to talk about social media. So
too much social media.
What we talk about is
before you go there, sir, I want to discuss. Do you know any basketball players? Because we're talking about youth in sports and basketball. Do you know any Jamaican basketball players or Jamaican heritage basketball players?
You're asking very important question. That's a very important question. No, man, that's a very important question. But what I'll say is right now, because I wasn't expecting that.
You wasn't expecting
because I was expecting that, Malik. I'm not adequately prepared for the question.
Well,
so the next time,
it shows that you are not a prepared person, generally, because you have a computer in front of you with the internet, and all you have.
And I'm sure while I was talking just now, Malik, that's when you Google.
No. Remember, we're edutaining, so I want to share, because we talk about basketball, I want to encourage the other generation, the next generation of basketball players coming up. They need to know that there's some famous basketball players or basketball players with Jamaican heritage. And my quick search has revealed and told me we have Patrick Ewing, born in Kingston, Jamaica. He's a Hall of Fame center known for his time with the New York Knicks and for winning Olympic gold medals in 1984 and 1992. There's Norman Powell, an NBA champion with the LA Clippers. He has parental ties to Jamaica and announced his commitment to play for the Jamaican national team in the past. We have Nick Richards, a current NBA player for the Charlotte Hornets, and he has represented Jamaica. And Josh Minot, a player who signed with the Boston Celtics, associated with the Jamaica Basketball Association. So you see, they can, even using the words that we got from Zenpo, achieve greatness.
Yes.
And be great, because we see where, Jamaicans are everywhere. We're into everything all the time. So there is that space and that place for Jamaican greatness as well in the sport and field of basketball.
Yeah, and I'm glad you went into that, Malik, because we do have a lot of persons, even though I don't have the names in front of Malik, we do have a lot of Jamaicans who are playing in the American Basketball League. A few play for the Miami Heats, which I do know that. A few of them play for the women. Yes, the Women Basketball Association, Women's Professional Basketball in the States and stuff like that. So do you know any women player in the women's league?
No,
can
you tell me? Who you want to tell me about?
No, I did not ask you for you to ask me.
I said I don't know, so I've asked the question now. Do you want
to
educate
do you know anybody that is playing on the Miami Heat now?
I must say I don't know
so that's your research, Malik. You see, I'm a good friend. I won't throw you under the bus like that.
I never threw you under the bus.
You just did. I
didn't. I said, and you inform me, edutain me, educate and entertain me with this information, as our viewers would want to know.
Malik, my job right now is to entertain. I'll educate you next week. But anyways, let's get to
the social media question of the week, because I think as well that's very critical. But yeah, I think what we saw happening a lot of discussion was on our thoughts on the ending of the medical program between Cuba and Jamaica. Any thoughts on that?
I want to hear your thoughts first. Interestingly,
why?
Because
I'm ask you the question now.
Beyond that, Malik, I think we both share the same thoughts.
I think obviously it's unfortunate that it's ending because of the long relationship or the long-standing relationship between the two
50
territories.
Years.
Yeah, but I think as well we have to also trust those in power and those who are set to lead us in terms of what are they thinking is the next move forward. And I think that's the critical point or the hinge I'd want to leave on, because clearly, as you said, there's this relationship that has developed. I think it's still an ongoing story, but for me right now, I think we also have to trust the wisdom and judgment of those who are set into power to govern us, and hope that the decision that this has made is the right decision for our people and for our country in terms of our relations with Cuba.
And Malik, I was gonna say that. But I know, no man, I was going to say that, but I was going to say because Mali, not the producer in my ear saying, sure. The reason why I said to Malik that he should go first, because I think Malik, we do share the same sentiments, but Malik can be a bit more diplomatic. If based on the amount of issues that we've talked on before. I share the same sentiment. I think it's very unfortunate. 50 years really isn't a small feat. That would have taken time and dedication and trust, and it is something that we would have looked forward to. Jamaicans have benefited. I think the Cuban embassy in the States would have released some facts yesterday stating that over 7 million Jamaicans have been impacted, lives have been saved through the medical program, the partnership that they've had over the past 50 years. And it's just really unfortunate what's happening in the geopolitical space right that would have really caused that program to go to naught. And it's just very unfortunate. It's a running joke that I was sharing with my friends on WhatsApp yesterday that, when we were talking about the elections in the States, persons were like, why we don't focus on the Jamaican election? And we're like, the elections anywhere across the world will impact us, and especially America. There's a saying that my grandmother usually say: if America coughs, Jamaica catches a cold. It's the same in the Caribbean, So we're not a single unit. We work together, and we're in the same geopolitical space. And what
influences one will influence all. And we had that conversation even as well last week, Demo. I don't know if you were tuning in when you were out, but we had the conversation last week about even in CARICOM, how it is. Even though each of us as individual nations has our individualistic personalities, we still have to operate within a region. And as you say, in a geopolitical space like ours, everyone is connected and there has to be collaboration throughout. And I think
it's to share that we are the only Caribbean country that's affected by this. Antigua and Barbuda had to discontinue theirs. And even there's a discussion going on with every Caribbean country. I see Bahamas issued a statement yesterday saying that they're still in deliberation about theirs. St. Kitts, Grenada.
So we don't operate
in silos.
Which is important for us to appreciate and let our viewers and our listeners appreciate that even though we're individualistic as a country, we operate within a space where you have to collaborate, network with others as well.
What I will say is that based on the statement that the minister would have released yesterday, is that even though they're discontinuing the program, they are open to engaging the doctors on an individual basis.
That's what I say as well. That's why I'm in my reasoned judgment and commentary just now. As I said, we have to trust the judgment and the wisdom of the persons put in power, which is our leaders, as to how it is we'll continue to operate within our geopolitical space, with our connections thereafter, which I think is very, very critical.
Hold on, before I continue, Malik, Chris Mullins said rebound now when you score after previous attempts.
Clearly you never get the definition right, that's all. So I think that's very important as well, that we appreciate within our spaces we are connected, and we have to make sure that we understand that we don't just stand by ourselves, but we stand within our team. And I think that was even a spillover from even the work that we saw with the Caribbean Youth Climate Council, that they are networking and looking at how it is, even though maybe your suggestion may not work in my country.
Because our locals are different, but at the end of the day, we're still one region. And how is it that we can pool our resources, pool our advocacy, pool our governments,
and
to
our
collectively, and our talents collectively represent us on the global space as one unit, one Caribbean.
So I think taking away from the discussions that we had today about climate change and climate action and sustainability, we learned quite a bit from the Caribbean Youth Climate Council about just our own situational analysis. I think what Mario did by setting the context about using the health example was so sobering. That climate change is real, it's in our faces, but young people, we have a seat at the table, and if we don't have a seat at the table, we can put ourselves at the table to let them hear what we have to say on these issues, but also how we can contribute, because not just being a talk shop, it's also being an action network. How it is we can contribute our talents and our skills to alleviating the problems and working towards assisting the government. And you could hear from what Chelsea and Mario were saying is governments are interested in hearing what young people have to say and how they can contribute as well.
And collaborate more.
And I think that's what that workshop did. And I'm curious and happy to see that they firstly were doing the work in terms of setting up the framework now, and what they will come with in 2027.
And what was fascinating as well is how wide they would have read. So, Mario would have shared that, prior to this, they have tons of legislation, tons of policies, not just regional and not just national where Jamaica is concerned, but internationally, that they would have delved in to kind of give them an informed perspective on the ideas that they will be suggesting going forward. So, really amazed by that.
That type of work, and to see what they'll come with in the rest of the year into 2027. And then switching gears into our youth in entrepreneurship segments, I love the work that Zenpo Apparel is doing and just the positivity. I think a lot of times, yes, we have a passion for fashion and want to be up to date with the latest trends, etc. But we forget the positive image because, you know, we have the phrases or the slogans about, you know, it is the man who is to wear the clothes, not the clothes to wear the man, in terms of how we should feel when we wear clothes. But also to see words of affirmation like, you know, chase greatness or the sky is the limit as part of their superior branding, I think is very critical. And I think when young people are advocates for this type of positivity, it can only, you know, make them better in terms of what they wear. And
what
how they
I would have
themselves.
taken from the discussion is, you know, that's true. But what I would have taken from the conversation as well is, you know, he said they started from 7th grade. You know,
with this vision.
With the vision, you know, and I really want persons to take from that is that, you know, nothing happens overnight. You know, you have to have a vision and work on it. It started from 7th grade and they actually acted on it in lower 6, upper 6. That's about 6 years, Malik. So nothing happens overnight and we have to put in the work, put in the dedication, be deliberate with what we want, have a clear vision, have a clear goal, and work towards it.
And for young people to remember, Demoy, that you're never too young to have a vision or a goal, but you must work towards it. And I mean, it sounds cliche, it makes us sound like we're old people now, but no. As young people, you have to want to chase greatness.
That's true.
Chase greatness and never be afraid to put in the work.
And understand that the sky is the limit.
The sky is the limit. Really and truly, once you put in the work, the sky. And, you know, I've even passed the sky now. And I think my new word, and I think people have been saying to me recently, Malik, the sky is the limit, but there's a galaxy to explore. Push yourself to even further or higher heights. But we are on the hour, as you can see, and we're going to be making way now for our special outside broadcast for Design Studios with Karen Booker and later for Outside with Pepita as they are at the 2026 staging. Boy, you see why we should have been there to them. A bad mind to my producer, them a bad mind.
Yes, no, we don't like this. We don't like this.
Because they'll be outside at the Jamaica Food and Drink Festival as they're wrapping up at the Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival today. And so we just want to big them up and wish them all the best as they are holding down the fort today at the Jamaica Food and Drink Festival.
And we can't close out without thanking our special guest for coming today. Empress, our executive producer,
for giving us this vision and for keeping us on the radio. To our in-studio producers, Damien Scarlett and Damien Rose. I think Damien had to run down now to go help set up for Pepita and Karen later. To our nationwide 90 FM executive team for keeping us here and accommodating the Talk of Youth radio show each and every week. And of course, you cannot leave out
the Talk Up Youth Radio family and Nationwide 90 FM. Big up on yourself.
Thank you. I don't know
why. He whispered in my ears. We not pay him no mind.
That's why.
We not pay David no mind.
We have to big up our studio engineer, David McNeish, for keeping us on your airwaves each and every week. And of course, as you said, to our YouTube family and to our listeners and viewers. It has been a maldamastic, or definitely Damalastic day today. It's so happy to have you back, Demoy, in studio with us. And on behalf of the entire Talk Up Youth Nation and the entire Talk Up Youth Radio family and the nationwide 90 FM network family, we want to wish for you a safe, restful, happy weekend and all the very best. A peaceful weekend and all the very best for your week ahead. Talk Up Youth, Miss Steffi.
Talk Up Youth.
See you next week.
You make the time to chase the paper. When last you say a prayer, we've got life, so let's live. And while you're worshipping your treasure, remember nothing lasts forever. The simple things are your blessings. Simple things, them are your blessings, the blessings. Simple things, them are your blessings. You better notice your blessings. The simple things, them are your blessings. Simple things, them are your blessings, the blessings. Simple things, them are your blessings. You better notice your blessings. Simple things, all the simple things.
Yeah, man, you don't know, this is Naomi Cowan representing for Talk of Youth. This on every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Talk of Youth, me say Talk of Youth, yeah. You have to stand for your rights now. Now is the time. Tell the people.
You may have been hearing the teasers. Now it's official. Beginning Monday, February 9, 2026, Nationwide News Network launches something special. The Nationwide Family Club, exclusively on Patreon.
With the Family Club, members get early access to our documentaries before anyone else.
some of your favorite segments, including Cliff Says, What's on My Mind, Cover Story, and others will now be a click away inside the Family Club. There are 3 tiers of membership. First, Bronze, the Family Insider, behind-the-scenes access, Monday motivational videos, members-only chats, and on-air birthdays and anniversary shoutouts.
Second, Silver, nationwide VIP. Breaking news alerts, exclusive documentaries, quizzes, personal milestones celebrated on air, and weekly family roll call mentions. Oh, and for our biggest supporters,
our gold category, elite listener, full archive access, early releases, private studio tours, live show experiences, personalized birthday videos, and exclusive live streams. From historic election coverage to lifetime, impact, Jamaican milestones, and rare archive content. This is nationwide like you've never seen it before. The Nationwide Family Club, coming to you February 9, 2026 on Patreon.
Join the family, support Nationwide 90 FM, the station that informs, entertains, and educates. Visit patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. That's patreon.com/Nationwide News Network. Nationwide Family Club, where you are family, because we see you as family.
Commercial spaces for you. Parks and attractions for you. Housing and residential developments for you. Beautiful rental properties for you. Improving quality of life through infrastructure development across Jamaica for you. The Urban Development Corporation, making development happen for you. Brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
UDC for you.
From early childhood to higher education, from smart classrooms to school nutrition, Jamaica's education system is evolving fast. The Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information is leading the charge. Broadband in schools across the island, 6 new STEM-focused secondary schools on the way, thousands of teachers trained in cutting-edge technology, and more students in high-demand achievement programs than ever before. We're empowering learners, equipping educators, and transforming education for Jamaica's future. The Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, we are trending, transforming education for national development.
Tune in to the Revolution in Media on Tuesday, March 10 for Nationwide's post-budget analysis series. From 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., our panel of experts will break down the national budget and what it means for businesses, workers, and you. Hear insights from President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Catherine Silvera, Senior Lecturer of Economics at UWI Mona, Dr. Christine Clark, Senior Tax Manager at the JN Group, Everald Dewar, Managing Director of A. Peart Advisory Services, Alison Peart, and Social Commentator Newton Harris. Don't miss Nationwide's post-budget analysis series on Tuesday, March 10 during Nationwide at 5 from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Nationwide 90 FM is an affordable medium to advertise your business. Increase your sales with Nationwide's reasonably priced advertising packages customized to suit your pocket. Contact our sales department today at 630-1210 or 630-1216. That's 630-1210 or 630-1216. Nationwide 90 FM. Smart advertising, value for your money.
This station raised me. It gave me a voice. And if Nationwide has ever meant something to you, come on in. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Get ready, students! Get ready, parents, and get ready, schools!
Some say pull up your pants and put it on your waist, son.
From February 27 to May 8, Nationwide 90 FM is hitting the road again with the NNN School Tour 2026. A fun and interactive journey, bringing excitement, energy, and empowerment straight to your school. Under the theme Rise Up, Represent, Do It For Your Future.
Me no get nothing less than 98 when school open, me never abide the gate.
We'll motivate the Jamaican youth them for dream big, take action, and own them future. Enough entertainment, inspiring messages, and activities that challenge you to showcase your talents and potential. If you're a student with talent, come show us when the NNN School Tour 2026 comes to your school. Stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM for details on how to participate in the NNN School Tour. So get ready to rise up, represent, and do it for your future. The NNN School Tour 2026 is brought to you by the Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC, Tip Friendly Society, the Police Civilian Oversight Authority, Nutrition Productions Limited, Digicel, and Wisinco.
So some of you have been listening longer than I've been talking on radio, so this is our way of keeping it strong together. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club on Patreon and stay with us.
You're in the Design Studio with the Design Diva, Karen Booker.
Baby, don't mind on your seat, come give me that. Jump up on my body like